Canelo Alvarez ducked Benavidez. I mean, I think to argue about it in any direction is pointless because it's clear as fact. You don't need to argue about it. The best fight for his legacy right now is Benavidez. It's probably the best opponent he's ever had is Benavidez. But not just legacy, because I'm one of the guy that says, legacy, these guys don't fight for legacy. They fight for money. And the fight that gets him paid the most is Benavidez. So if it's not for legacy, that is clearly the best fight for legacy. It's definitely for the money. And that's the fight that's going to get him paid the most. So if he checks off those two things, he's also ranked number one for one of your belts. It's clearly a duck. There's no reason to talk about it. Not only did he duck him, he ran from him. He ran to another network. He ran across the street. These are facts. There's no reason to argue it. But I think there's a duck that we're missing. Or a duck that we're not talking about. Because you got to remember that the things that Canelo says, and you got to remember the things that Canelo agreed to. What did Canelo say why he wouldn't fight Terence Crawford? He said he's too small. So what would it do for him? It'd be pointless. He would gain nothing from it. But then you got to look at it. Who did Canelo agree to fight on this PBC deal? Because it sure wasn't Benavidez, right? A guy in his own weight division. So who did he agree to fight? Wasn't Morrell, another guy in his own weight division. No. He agreed to fight Jamal Charlo, 160 pounder. Never fought at 167. He agreed to fight Jermell Charlo, 154 pounder. Never fought at middleweight. Never fought at super middleweight. And he agreed to fight Earl Spence, 147 pounder. Never fought at middleweight. Never fought at super middleweight. And never even fought at junior middleweight. So when did Terence Crawford become too small to fight? When did that fight become meaningless? Because even before Earl Spence had fought Terence Crawford, Canelo had signed to fight him. So if Earl Spence had beat Terence Crawford, he wouldn't have been too small. That wouldn't have been a fight that would have been meaningless to you. No, you already agreed to it because you had a list of opponents you agreed to. Terence Crawford became too small when he looked too dominant against Earl Spence. Now, I think Canelo would beat Terence Crawford because he's a lot bigger than him. And it's not just a weight class, it's 2 weight classes. It's 3 weight classes. And he's a very good fighter, Canelo Alvarez. And Terence Crawford is a great fighter. But the size, with that skill level, would just be too much. But apparently, Canelo Alvarez doesn't think that. Because Canelo Alvarez is now claiming that Terence Crawford is not going to get him the respect he deserves. But all the other small guys would. You know who really would give him the respect he deserves? Berlanga. If he's looking for respect, and he's looking for people to respect his victory, it sure as hell ain't going to be Berlanga. So what is it? The real reason why Canelo Alvarez, because we know why he doesn't want to fight Benavidez, but what's the real reason why he doesn't want to fight Terence Crawford? Because I think he committed 2 ducks, not just one. I think he created the biggest duck in history against Benavidez. But I think there's another duck that's right there with Terence Crawford. Canelo Alvarez is ending his career on a very bad note.